What's going on? My name is FreeRunnerX10 and welcome to a brand new video. So in today's video I thought I'd talk about Grand Theft Auto 5 single player mods and a little bit of a fiasco that's happened between OpenIV, Take-Two Interactive and Rockstar. So basically OpenIV is a mod for Grand Theft Auto 5 and Grand Theft Auto 4, and it is a framework mod that basically allows people to create mods for those Grand Theft Auto games. And without this framework we can't have single player mods that work in Grand Theft Auto 5. Now what's happened in the shortest terms possible, but I'll explain this in a bit more detail later on in the video, is Take-Two has issued a cease and desist order to the creators of OpenIV, basically telling them to stop what they're doing or we'll go after you with legal proceedings. And of course Take-Two is a big company. They have cashed in a lot of money over the years, especially with Grand Theft Auto 5 and Grand Theft Auto Online. They are making a ton of money, so you don't want to go up against their legal teams because, well, they can afford the best legal teams in the world if they wanted to. Not only that, but the area surrounding modification of games is very grey as far as law is concerned. No one has gone to court about things to do with modifications of other people's games. There's nothing that has ever been, I guess, set in stone as far as law is concerned. I'm not a lawyer myself, but I know that there is a grey area there. There's also a grey area with digital content and fair use, and that is something that hasn't really been battled about in court. It kind of has, but it's nothing. There's nothing major that has set something in stone. Because the way the law works, I think, is that if something has been proven and something has gone a certain way, then if a case is similar to that, then that will go in the same way because it's been ruled a certain way in the past with a similar case. And the reason why certain modifications and modders don't want to go to court is because it's a waste of their time and they don't have the funds to battle Take-Two in court. Now the reason why it's a waste of time is because it depends on how this situation plays out. Basically what's happened is the creators of OpenIV have basically rolled over and they said, yeah, we're not going to carry on development for the sake of basically not being sued by Rockstar and Take-Two Interactive, but mainly Take-Two Interactive. And so the way this could have played out is OpenIV could have carried on developing the mod, and then they may have got into a lawsuit with Take-Two Interactive because Take-Two has seen that they've not adhered to the cease and desist order, and then they legally go after them. I'm not sure how it would work because they're in Russia and Take-Two Interactive is mainly based in the United States of America, so it's different law there in both countries. But I'm not sure how that would work, but there would be a lot of implications for both parties, and it's going to be a lot of stress for the people of OpenIV. They are the smaller party. It seems like they have grounds to basically win any kind of lawsuit, but it just seems like it's just a waste of time for them because they're going to be stressed. It's going to cost them a lot of money, and in the end they gain nothing from it other than the fact that they can carry on doing what they were doing before Take-Two issued a cease and desist order. With this whole thing, basically the creator of OpenIV has said that he's going to cease developing OpenIV, and no longer can you mod single player mods into Grand Theft Auto 5 and Grand Theft Auto 4 using OpenIV. Now I'm not saying that this is going to completely 100% kill off mods for Grand Theft Auto 5 because it isn't. There are other tools you can use to actually mod Grand Theft Auto 5. There's the Rage Hook plugin, there is Script Hook, but OpenIV was something you could use to customize vehicles and add new textures and change various different files in order to have certain things working. For example, the Iron Man mod required you to use OpenIV to replace certain assets within the game's files in order to actually have an Iron Man piece of armor. So what I'm saying is, although OpenIV has gone and it is kind of a big blow to single player modding for Grand Theft Auto 5, it doesn't mean that GTA 5 modding is going to completely and utterly stop. However, this whole situation could set a precedent for the future of Grand Theft Auto 5 mods, which I'll explain a bit later on in the video, towards the end of the video when I conclude this video. Now before we get into the rest of this video, I want to point out that I do have a cold. It's like 27, 28 degrees outside today, which is ridiculous. So I've got a cold in the middle of summer. It is really weird, and I believe this is the first time in my life I've actually had a cold in the summer. That is very strange to me, and I'm sorry that my voice is really bad, but I'll try and get through this video. I'll try and make this clear and concise as possible, and hopefully we'll follow a direct path to a conclusion, and then I'll end the video. Now this is the second informative video that I've ever made for Grand Theft Auto 5. I actually made a video back 3 years ago which was titled GTA 5 CJ rumored to return in upcoming DLC, new information. If you'd like to check out that video, there's an iCard annotation that is linked to that video. I wouldn't recommend checking it out because it's a really bad piece of information where I basically just hype up something. It's horrible looking back at that video, but it stands as testament from where I've come from and where I am now. So if you'd like to check out that video, go ahead and do so. But without further ado, let's talk about this topic in a bit more detail. Now, apparently the reason why Take-Two issued this cease and desist order to the creators of the OpenIV single player mod framework is apparently because OpenIV has recently enabled malicious mods that apparently harass other players and interfere with the GTA Online experience for everybody involved with GTA Online. This is coming from Rockstar Games' official statement on this, which they basically say Take-Two's actions were not specifically targeting single player mods. Unfortunately, OpenIV enables recent malicious mods that allow harassment of players and interfere with the GTA Online experience for everybody. We are working to figure out how we can continue to support the creative community without negatively impacting our players. Now, I really hate this statement from Rockstar. It's basically them from the past saying, we will support mods, and oh no, daddy said we can't support mods now, so we will try and, you know, do something. And now it's kind of on Rockstar. The problem with this situation is it's Rockstar's game, it's Take-Two's brand, they can do what they want, and it doesn't matter how much their fans and the player base screams about this. I don't think they're going to do diddly squat. They're literally not going to do anything, and they're going to leave GTA Online as it is, and they're probably never going to allow OpenIV to flourish again. That's literally it. OpenIV has been finished, it's going to be killed off, and no one's going to be able to mod single player, which is the big selling point for Grand Theft Auto games on PC, the ability to mod them, to basically make single player content for yourself. And that is a big thing with Grand Theft Auto 5, because with Grand Theft Auto 5 single player content is non-existent. You have the main story, there was a few bits of single player DLC which were like weapons and vehicles added from online, but a majority of the online content that comes out now is not available in single player. You have to actually use mods in order to get some of the online vehicles to work in single player, because without a special script you could spawn in a GTA Online vehicle. For example, there's a freewheeler vehicle I wanted to try out. That vehicle spawns in for about 3 to 5 seconds and then disappears because it's locked out, and you need a script in order to actually use that in single player, which is ridiculous. Grand Theft Auto 5 is purely just a multiplayer game now. They make DLC for multiplayer because of how multiplayer is set up. Multiplayer is set up in a way where you have to play the game a lot in order to grind out a money which takes a long time to grind out, and once you've ground out that money you buy stuff and then you repeat that process. The quickest way for you to actually gain stuff in Grand Theft Auto Online in order to buy this new content and experience this new content is to buy shark cards which cost real money for virtual currency. GTA Online is set up in a way that is a cash cow, and we've seen this time and time again with GTA Online. The reason why they're releasing tons of multiplayer content is because people keep coming back to the game, and it allows them to have a continuous revenue stream. This is what GTA Online is. It's a cash cow for Take-Two and Rockstar. It allows them to make money. Now, right now, we're in a situation where people don't give a shit. People have allowed this to happen, and this will happen for a number of years until people, a mass collective of people, basically go fuck you, Rockstar, fuck you, Take-Two. We don't want this GTA Online cash cow experience. We don't want to have to spend hours of our life. Bearing in mind, I feel like we should, as a race, we should basically come to the conclusion that time is money, money is time. If you're spending time in a game, that's time of your life wasted on that game. If that game is excessive to the point where you have to spend hours upon hours in order to unlock content online, that is a ridiculous thing to do. And obviously the quickest way to unlock content is to spend real money, which is sad. So the only way this is ever going to disappear is if people actually stand up to Take-Two and Rockstar and say, we don't want GTA Online. We don't want a game like this where we have to spend hours upon hours grinding stuff or spend real money on this game. Take-Two has said in the past, and I can't find the statement, but there's a good video by Jim Sterling, which I'll link in the description below, where he basically has a go at the CEO of Take-Two, I believe, who basically just, the way he says something in a press conference, it's ridiculous. He refers to everyone who's a consumer is basically a brain-dead zombie who is there to manipulate and take money from. That's kind of like the general idea. It's a little bit subtle than that, but it's a horrible thing. I'm kind of straying off topic here, so we'll get back onto what I'm trying to say. Now, basically, in the statement, OpenIV apparently enables recent malicious mods that allow harassment of players that interfere with the GTA Online experience for everybody. Now, there's a problem here because although GTA Online is not the most secure thing about GTA, it's definitely not secure by any means. It does have some systems in place which do stop you going online with mods. For example, I have modified a ton of things using OpenIV for LSPDFR. That's the main reason why I bought Grand Theft Auto 5, by the way, is for single player mods, because they add more content and it allows me to not be in a really hostile environment, because that's what I feel like GTA Online is. Now, that single player modding that I did with LSPDFR basically allowed me to play in single player and play this mod and have this good experience with single player mods, but I couldn't go online because those mods changed files within the Grand Theft Auto 5 directory. Now, yes, OpenIV allows game files to be modified, but GTA 5 has a system in place which detects those files that have been modified and then tries to repatch your game. In other words, it basically says, right, these files have been changed, these files are not part of what we have, we're verifying the integrity of this game. Then it checks the game and it says, right, these files have been changed, these files are missing, these files are not what they should be, and then it then re-downloads those files and basically make sure that you have a copy of GTA that will work 100% with GTA Online and doesn't have any modified files. That to me is odd, that there is now apparently mods that are able to get past this security. In my eyes, what's the problem here? Rockstar's a problem. They've not basically fixed this compromising mod. They've not gone out their way to fix this problem. They've basically decided that, wow, this harms GTA Online. Take-Two have seen this, and this is their main cash flow, and they've basically decided to go, right, okay, we're going to cut off single player modding, which we have previously allowed and stated that we support, which is ridiculous. It's ridiculous that you would say one thing and then go back on it, doing a U-turn. I've had enough with U-turns in recent weeks, but yeah, this is something that's quite ridiculous and doesn't really make any sense, because OpenIV, although modifies files and changes those files, GTA Online actually checks files and doesn't let you play GTA Online unless you have the correct version of the game. So Rockstar needs to really beef up their security. And the problem with Rockstar is they have made these mistakes in the past. They have basically had issues with security with GTA Online before, with GTA in just general, and rather than improving security and improving single player accessibility, they decided to basically just not bother. And in this case, they've basically just picked up the gun and decided to, you know, kill off single player modding so that way they can protect GTA Online, which is not the way to go about it. They should actually fix the security issues with GTA Online, not let them be there and open, because that's what they're going to do. Now, although they say they're going to basically try and work and figure out how they can continue to support the creative community without negatively impacting their GTA Online cash cow, I don't think that's ever going to happen. That is not going to happen. They are not going to fix it. Rockstar has shown time and time again that they are not going to do it, and this is definitely something that they will not ever fix. So I think in this case, GTA Online is going to carry on. There's going to be more content for GTA Online, which sucks, and single player modding is going to cease to exist on PC. But I just don't understand. Rockstar's been very vague on this. They've gone silent. Take-Two are vague on it. They've gone silent. I don't understand how OpenIV is malicious to GTA Online, because it's purely for single player, and you cannot go online with OpenIV when it's changed files. You cannot at all. So it makes no sense at all. Rockstar's been very vague on this. The statements are very vague. Nothing makes sense. It just seems like they've basically decided to go, right, there's some hacks that are basically out there and they're able to bypass whatever security you have in place, which is probably shit. Let's point that out right now. The GTA Online security has been shit on PC from day one, and I presume it's been shit on console. It's definitely harder to actually mod and change things with the console version and have sort of like modding menus for console, but people have done it, and there are modding menus out there for console that allow you to spawn in stuff, be in God mode, and basically just ruin people's experience. PC, there are a load of ways of doing that. It's more easier to do that because you have access to the code and everything, and it's more prominent on PC. But the fact of the matter is, there are still hackers. Rockstar has gone after the hackers. I believe in some cases have sent cease and desist orders to various different hacking tools for Grand Theft Auto 5, but that's not enough. You need to fix your game and make sure your game's security is top notch so that these hacks can't bypass your security. Yes, security is not going to be 100% accurate, and yes, people are going to be able to bypass this security eventually, but you need to keep maintaining the security and going after these people who are making hacks, and not after the modding community who is making single player mods purely for single player, not for multiplayer, and who are basically trying to allow this game to have more content. Because a thing that you seem to be forgetting, Rockstar, is you're purely making content for GTA Online. You have completely ignored single player. There is never going to be a DLC for Grand Theft Auto 5 single player at all. There's going to be no single player content apart from the content which the modding community makes, which you have now decided to execute, because apparently it has malicious implications to GTA Online, which you haven't explained, which a majority of users who have used OpenIV don't understand. Because we can't go online with OpenIV because it's purely for single player, and it changes files, and when it changes files we can't actually go on GTA Online until our game has been changed and the files have been updated to the correct files that are needed in order to play GTA Online. It makes no sense. Now I'm going to wrap up this video fairly soon because I don't want this to run into a half-an-hour rant. I know I have been ranting a little bit, but hopefully it's been clear and concise and to the point, although I have gone off on various different bits about GTA Online and GTA in general and Take-Two Interactive as a company. Now, before I end this video with a conclusion, I thought I'd talk to the people who are basically bashing people who are addressing their thoughts, their opinions and their concerns about this whole incident between Take-Two Interactive, Rockstar and the creators of the OpenIV mod, where people are basically saying that you shouldn't be leaving negative reviews on Steam because that's petty, you shouldn't be voicing your opinions and concerns because that's petty. In all of the grand scheme of things to do with consumerism and consumers, that is their right. They have purchased a game for a reason. In my case, my reason for purchasing this game was because mods were allowed. Mods have been available and allowed with previous GTA titles, and they were allowed with this GTA title. So making a U-turn on the fact that we're not allowing this specific mod tool because it could possibly affect our GTA Online experience for everyone is ridiculous. They need to fix the GTA Online security issues and then allow OpenIV to continue what they were doing, because it's something that allows people like me to experience single player in different ways. A lot of people saying, well, why would you want to play single player when GTA Online has all this content? Because I don't want to spend tons of hours grinding out content for no apparent reason, or spending real money to buy this virtual content which Rockstar has created purely for this purpose, either to waste your time trying to grind and get all this new stuff, or to spend your real money, because that's really what they want from you. So that's why I don't play GTA Online, even though it has a lot of content, and single player is where I'm at and invested in, and I'm invested in mods and single player content that's created by the user base. Now, jumping back to all these people having a go at people for voicing their opinions and concerns, I feel it's okay to voice your opinions, your concerns, your thoughts on a certain situation within good reason. If you're out to maliciously attack and harass Take-Two Interactive and Rockstar, that's not right, but actually just voicing your opinions in a respectful and polite manner is okay. That is within reason. Yes, you may get a bit heated. I know I got a bit heated and I left a review on Steam which was very malicious, but I have since then changed that review because looking back at it, it's a very inappropriate thing to do. Although Take-Two and Rockstar probably will never see that review, it's something that I feel I should change and have changed, because it's not right for me to say certain things that I put in that review. So I've changed that and updated it. But yeah, people can voice their concerns and opinions. They have the right to. So anyone who's basically bashing people for voicing their thoughts, opinions and concerns, you need to really wise up to what you're getting yourself in for. That suggests to me that if you're one of these people who are bashing these people who are voicing their concerns, thoughts and opinions on this situation, then you're probably one of those people who rolls over for anything. I mean anything. If Rockstar decided that everything in GTA Online was going to cost real money and that you had to pay a subscription every month, you'd probably just roll over and accept that fact and carry on playing GTA without complaining. And if you didn't, and you did complain about this, Doesn't that make you a hypocrite? So moving on to a conclusion, I'm going to talk about what we have talked about in this video. I'm going to sum up everything and just give you my thoughts and opinions on the future of modding in Grand Theft Auto 5. So what we know so far is that OpenIV ceases to exist now, and OpenIV will no longer be developed in the future. OpenIV, as far as downloading is concerned, you can no longer download OpenIV from the OpenIV official website. However, you may be able to download OpenIV from third-party websites, GTA modding websites like GTA Forums, GTA 5 mods. You may not be able to find a link to the OpenIV download publicly, but it might be there privately, or you may have to message a moderator on one of those sites and they will be happy to help you out. Now, if you are somebody who still has OpenIV installed, you can leave OpenIV installed if you want to. The developers recommend that you uninstall OpenIV so that Take-Two and Rockstar can't take any legal action against you, but there's no reason that they would, because it's really a waste of time chasing up a ton of people who have OpenIV installed. I don't think there's a way of telling that you have OpenIV installed, but obviously that the Rockstar game client will detect that some files have been changed if you try to go on GTA Online. So I recommend that if you are using OpenIV, you have two versions of GTA 5, a legit version of GTA 5 that you can basically use to play online and single player without any mods, and a version that is purely for modding. Now, of course, if OpenIV is broken by updates to GTA in the future, they won't get fixed, and if there are issues with OpenIV and actually modding certain files, then you may have to backdate to a certain version of Grand Theft Auto 5, however you do that, which I can't remember because I don't think I've ever had to do it, so I'm unsure of how that would work. Now, what does this mean for the future of modding with Grand Theft Auto 5? Well, right now, Grand Theft Auto 5 modding is still a thing. It's not dead yet. It's still very much alive. You've got the Rage Hook plugin, you've got Script Hook, there's a few other little bits of and bobs which allow you to load and use mods. However, OpenIV was not a big part of Grand Theft Auto single player mods, but it was a small thing that had a big impact, is I guess the way I can say it. It was something that made a difference. It allowed you to change files, customize various different textures, and just have different variety in your single player experience, which is something I liked about OpenIV, that I could have different police cruisers in LSPDFR, which I now can't do. Well, I can do, but I'm not supposed to because it's illegal, apparently. It's not really illegal, but obviously Take-Two and Rockstar don't like the idea that people are using OpenIV because it has some kind of issue which they need to fix on their end. For some reason, OpenIV can be used maliciously, even though there's no proof of this and nothing to back this up, can be used maliciously to exploit and harass players in GTA Online. Of course, Rockstar and Take-Two need to prove that, and if there is a problem, then they need to fix it, because I can guarantee that problem is on their end. The problem with GTA 5 is the fact that single player and multiplayer are basically the same component. They're together, and that's the problem. If single player was completely separate from multiplayer, then you wouldn't really have this problem. People would be able to mod single player without any problems, and then multiplayer would just be multiplayer and people would play multiplayer without any problems. So for the future of Grand Theft Auto games, if there is a single player, which there might not be with the next GTA game, which probably will be a purely online experience, that's what I'm thinking it's going to be. I pray that if there is a single player, you separate them so that there can be mods on single player and that not affect the multiplayer. That would be the best way to go about things, but I don't know if Rockstar is going to sort this out. As for the future of modding, this kind of sets a precedent. This kind of suggests that if a mod threatens GTA Online, then Take-Two are going to try and take down that mod. So that means if mods, single player mods, have more appeal than GTA Online content, then that could suggest that Take-Two will go after these single player modding tools that allow you to make mods and use mods in single player. But not only that, Rockstar and Take-Two may go after these private server networks that I've seen cropping up with GTA Online for PC, which is basically a custom version of GTA Online. It's not Rockstar's GTA Online, which is a very bad thing, because GTA Online for Rockstar equals money. They make a ton of money for GTA Online, and Take-Two loves that because they like money. They're a corporation. They're out to make money. So if there's something that threatens GTA Online, they will always try and shut that down, and maybe they will try and shut down these private server networks. You'll see a lot of GTA 5 custom RP servers popping up, which are very popular. A lot of people enjoy because it's something different from GTA Online and allows people to do things that Rockstar don't allow currently currently with their GTA Online experience, which is quite frankly a piece of shit. And this is because they affect their cash flow from GTA Online, because like I said, GTA Online is their cash cow. It's the way they make a majority of their income. Yes, they may have sold GTA 3 or 4 times. They've sold it to the last generation, the current generation. So some people bought it on last gen, then they bought it on the current gen, and maybe they bought it on PC for mods. So in some cases, people have bought GTA 3 times, possibly 4 times if they change from a different platform, from say like Xbox One to PlayStation 4. It all depends. I know a lot of people have changed platforms because they found that the PS4 was better, and they did in fact enjoy the social features of the PS4 more than the Xbox. And that is an issue that Rockstar has made a ton of money, and yet the game is still very unsecure in certain circumstances and certain situations. So they need to improve the game, make sure that they can fix these issues, and hopefully we can see OpenIV back in development, although I'm very unsure that that will happen. I'm pretty sure that that will never happen, and that kind of sucks. It's a big blow to single player modding, and that kind of leaves us on a unstable, unsure path to the future of modding in Grand Theft Auto games. It seems that if a mod affects GTA Online, then Rockstar and Take-Two will shut it down because that affects their cash flow, and that's how it's going to be. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you found this video informative, and I hope you took something away from it. If you did in fact enjoy the video and you took something away from this, then don't forget to leave a like. Unfortunately, if you didn't enjoy this video and you didn't find it informative or didn't take anything away from this video, then you can always leave a dislike. If you'd like to see more content like this or more content by me, then don't forget to subscribe so you can see more content by me. I do apologize for obviously having a cold, and I hope you managed to follow the video. I know I ranted a bit, but I managed to hopefully keep it clear and concise as possible. As always, I will see you in my next video.